What's up, gamers? It's your boy, Launchpad 1412. Excited to be back with some NBA 2K14 gameplay. I know it's been a while since I give you guys some NBA 2K14 gameplay. Probably the first time I'm showing you guys some gameplay that and the Spurs are being involved in the gameplay. My opponent has the Spurs. I have my favorite team, the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is an online ranked match versus a random opponent. A pretty good match. I'll definitely enjoy the match. But I'm not going to talk about the match. We got some NBA to discuss. We got some NBA things to discuss today. And I'm going to try to get through a few things, but I'm going to take my time, so I'm not going to be able to get through everything but that I kind of want to get to. So I'm not going to say everything that I want to get to, because if I say it, then you're going to be kind of eager to hear it, just a little bit. You're going to be just a little curious to hear what my thoughts on it. So I'm just going to try to get through as much as I possibly can. Well, first off, we're going to talk about the second round of the NBA playoffs. Second round of the NBA playoffs wasn't as good as the first round. Wasn't as good as the first round. Wasn't disappointing though. But when you see a first round like that, man, you kind of want to you want the second round to sort of mimic it, but that didn't happen. But definitely some good games, man. We went against Clippers, beat them in 6. I kind of felt like we was better than the Clippers. Kind of like Skip Bayless said, we were just a better team. I think they're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder last night. I'm saying this is Game 6 that we won. I think the Oklahoma City Thunder are the best team in the league. I've seen something different in them, and I feel like right now we are the best team in the league. And I'm not just saying that because it's my favorite team. I'm just looking at them talent-wise and just overall with the inclusion of Caron Butler, the ability of Westbrook and Durant, and Derek Fisher's abilities. I know that might sound crazy, but Derek Fisher's abilities. Even though we have lost Ibaka, though, that's a little bit of a strain right there. We did lose Ibaka, but especially when we have Ibaka in there. But now that we don't have Ibaka in there, now I might have to change my opinion on that a little bit. But with Ibaka, I'm saying that with Ibaka, just looking at the game in full in Game 6, even though Ibaka did leave in the third quarter, I feel like with our ability, we are the best team in the league, and the only team that can beat us is us. I think we do in the playoffs. A lot of times, I think we beat ourselves more than our opponents do. But with that said, that was a pretty good series. Spurs beat they pretty much swept Portland and beat them 4-1. I mean, they just really outplayed them, outclassed them this series. I did not predict that happening. I actually had Portland winning the series, but I was definitely wrong on that. I don't think I've ever been so wrong on the series. But shout out to San Antonio Spurs and Portland for getting as far as they did. People probably didn't predict that they would get this far in the beginning of the season. They did a good job. Hopefully they can progress next year and not beat my Thunder. And who else we got? We got the Heat and New Jersey Nets. Very good series. Heat 1-5. Could have won 6 games, possibly 7. Well, a couple plays here and there. I'm not sure what really to say about that series. Except that it was a good series. Even though it was 4-1, I think it was a better series than the Spurs in Portland. I think Nets were closer to beating the Heat opposed to Portland beating the Spurs. I think Portland just purely got outplayed the whole series. I mean, just some basic basketball. Move the ball around to someone's open, pick and rolls. The first time the pick and roll doesn't work, do a pick and roll again. And the Spurs they were just killing them with that. And one more series out there. I'm messing. Which one is it? Oh yeah, the Pacers and the Wizards. Pacers and Wizards. I had Indiana in 7. But they ended up winning in 6. So man, I'll take it. So I think I was right on 3 of the teams. I had the Heat, I had the Pacers, and of course I had my Oklahoma City Thunder. And now that Wizards and Pacers game, that was pretty good. That was a pretty good series. Very interesting, man. Very nice to see the Wizards come up, a team that was not really known for being good this year, and not until the end of the year. So it's nice to see them come up, man, and get to the semifinals, and it makes some noise, do some damage. Shout out to John Wall. He did his thing. Boy, Bill Bradley, man, he's a heck of a shooter, man. Lights out shooter. Charles Barkley said in a couple years they will probably be the best backcourt in the league. I don't disagree with that, man. They're going to be tough, man. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with, man. So it's going to be interesting to see how they progress next year. So I got that out of the way. Now it's prediction time. Of course, I got my Thunder. I got the Thunder in 6. I like us to beat the Spurs in 6 at home. I was gonna say Key Arena, that's Seattle, but at home in the dome. I believe that not the dome. I think they call it the I forget what they call the Oklahoma City Thunder's Stadium. But I like us to beat them at home in Game 6. I think it's going to be a good series, though. But I will say this, though. At OKC, my favorite team, if we start playing that knucklehead ball, where we do a whole bunch of one-on-one jump shots, one-on-one shooting, and take a whole bunch of bad shots, we will get swept. I am going to put that out there. We will get swept. So if we don't do that, I like us to win in 6. I like Indiana Pacers to beat the Miami Heat in 7 games. It's going to be a 7-game series. I like the Pacers in 7. And the last... It's going to go all the way down to the wire. You know, the last couple seconds in the fourth quarter is going to be a nail biter. So those are my predictions. Indiana in 7, and I like us being the Thunder, and I like us in 6. Next topic that I kind of want to talk about real quick. Doc Rivers getting fined $25,000 for blasting referees. He was very upset in Game 5. He felt like a call didn't go his way, and he felt like the ball should have been Clippers ball opposed to Thunder, and that kind of crazy looking play, so to speak. But I want to talk about him blasting referees. I want to talk about him blasting referees. And in my opinion, I'm kind of happy to see someone step up. One of the coaches step up and say something about the referees. I think the referees get pampered just a little bit too much in the league. There's a little bit too much pampering of the referees, man. You can't show no emotion around them. They give you a tech. You really can't do it. Even if the emotion is not necessarily towards anyone, it's kind of you just kind of hyping yourself up. You can get a tech for that, you know, and that's crazy when you play a game that you're very passionate about. How can you tell someone not to be emotional? But the referees will hit you with that tech. And even in a press conference, when the game is over, you can't even truly express yourself. You ask these coaches and athletes questions, but they can't express themselves because 100% fully in truth, because they cannot talk about how they feel about the referees calling the game. And if they do talk about the referees calling the game, they have to say they called a good game, even if a referee doesn't call a good game. That is just like, it's kind of like pampering the rich kid, man. Like in the neighborhood, somehow I know it's like you have 7 siblings, but no one can do nothing to the baby brother or the baby sister, the last sibling that comes out of your mom's womb. Like the last sibling is always right. That's what it feels like. It's like kind of irking a little bit, man. So I'm kind of glad that Doc Rivers actually said something, man. Even though he is getting fined $25,000 and they took that loss to the Thunder, that kind of sucks, but for him. But I'm happy that I'm just happy that he stood up. Next order of business. Donald Sterling said that he won't pay the fine. He said he's not paying the fine. He's going to try to fight it. Someone asked me to talk about this. I almost kind of didn't want to talk about this because I wasn't really sure what to say. But I will say this. We have to understand that all of us, this is the human race, because I know it's not just black people that want to see him lose the Clippers, lose his ownership of the Clippers. You got to understand something, that the legal ducks have to be aligned properly for this to happen. I say that to say that stuff like this is going to take time, and technically he can, sue the NBA or fight the case, because technically, from what I believe is considered NBA standards, even though I think there is a rule about racial discrimination. What I heard, this is what I heard. This is kind of why I kind of didn't want to talk about it, because I wasn't sure. I didn't have all the entities of this case, so to speak. But from what I understand, he can solidly, formidably, fight this case. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with that, man. But this guy. I'm just thinking about this guy and some of the stuff that he said about Magic Johnson. Even though I know Magic Johnson gave a woman HIV, and he's not a saint or nothing like that, but it just shows your character when you're in the fire and you try to bring somebody in the fire with you. I mean, all that stuff that he said about Magic Johnson was just unnecessary. I mean, why did he even have to point any of that out? It's just, no one knows. People say, like, I've heard all kinds of people talk about this topic, act like they know Magic Johnson and know what he's doing. We don't know what that man is doing. We do not know what that man's doing, man. We don't know if he's, you know, I would hope that he's helping out the communities, or the black communities, or any communities for that matter, that he can, you know. But no one knows what he's doing technically, you know. I just kind of assumed that he would be the type of guy that would, you know, help out his community, or some communities, you know. But basically what I'm saying, that we just don't know, and we can't judge him, you know, on that, especially not Donald Sterling being in this case. And lastly, I kind of want to touch on Ibaka getting hurt real quick. I think we'll be okay because we got some backups. We got Nick Collison, we got Tarzan, the rookie Adams, Steven Adams, and we got Petit from Connecticut. So, you know, we got some big boys back him up. And we even got Jones on the bench. He could probably play a little power forward a little bit if we need him. I don't think we're even going to need him, but he is another scorer. So you know, that'd definitely be that's definitely another weapon we can use. You gotta understand, we haven't even really used the other boy from Connecticut. I can't think of his name right now. Yeah, Jeremy Lamb and Percy Jones. Yeah, we really haven't used them like that yet, man. But shout out to my opponent, and my opponent ended up getting a victory right here. He came through in the end of the fourth quarter. He had a much better fourth quarter than I did. Towards the end, I fouled him a lot, and he hit all his free throws. He did a good job of making his free throws. And I had some wide open shots that I tried to take at the end to try to bring the game within a little bit more range, but I just wasn't knocking them down. You know, it happens, man. But shout out to my opponent one more time. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like for your boy. This is your boy Launchpad 1412, and I'm out.